Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Welcome to the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network. On this Wednesday, I'm Cam Stewart, Zach Burke, keeping us on the air. waiting patiently for me to finish up with Pete Souza of the Pete Souza Show, which is our lead-in here on Rogue Media Sports Network. We're live here every noon Eastern time, every weekday, I should say. And then later on, wherever you get your podcast, plus segments on YouTube. Today, we're talking about Patriots trade targets. We are talking about the hottest player in the NHL right now and how he plays for the Boston Bruins and why that might be enough to get him into the dance here. And the Celtics, are they back? Did they ever go anywhere? Yes. Anyway, starting with the Patriots. Obviously, big news this week is in the NFL world, the availability of both Myles Garrett and Cooper Kupp. Myles Garrett, they both put out kind of those heartfelt messages on Twitter because that's what you got to do now. You know, Myles Garrett saying, I love it here, but I actually really want to leave because you guys suck and I want to win something. Can't blame him for that. Cooper Kupp kind of going the opposite direction of, yeah, I love it here, but they don't want me here anymore. They're going to trade me or cut me. So, bye, guys. Okay. These are two guys who could be, absolutely be targets for the New England Patriots. Now, I say that because the Patriots are so bad, just about anyone on the market could be a target for the Patriots. But you look at these two, and I don't know if they're going to garner huge returns. And you do have to kind of walk a tightrope if you're the Patriots because you are rebuilding. You don't want to give up a ton of draft capital. I think Myles Garrett will probably demand a first-round pick in there because they can't really give a player of any kind of ilk over to Cleveland either. So, but Cooper Kupp, we heard the report from Burt Breer on SI, who, took a minute to stop bashing the Patriots to talk about the Cooper Kupp trade. And he said the Rams said they wanted something like a Davante Adams return. That was during the season. Adams got fetched a third-round pick that became a conditional third-round pick that could become a second-rounder. Yeah. And no team asked or gave them that in the regular season. Not surprising for a guy who's 31. I think Cooper Kupp is still effective. Don't get me wrong, but those are high premium draft picks there, and I think that market will be a little bit lighter than what they were looking for in October, say. So it could come down to the point, if the Rams are going to stay at that hard line of we want a day 2 pick, essentially. This might not be a trade. This might be a cut come March, with the cap hit gone. They might just cut him if they're not going to get that kind of deal. So I think if the Patriots are interested in him, which they should be, him in one slot, Pop Douglas in the other, and utilize the heck out of those guys and that Josh McDaniels offense, another safety blanket for Drake May. I think they should be in on this, but you can overpay in free agency if you're the Patriots, but kind of back them into a corner here. Call their bluff. You know what you were asking for in the regular season. You're not going to get that. You're probably not going to get, a little bit worse than that. You're probably going to be looking at a fifth, sixth round pick at this point. Maybe you get a fourth out of them, but you're not getting a third or a second, most likely. And just kind of put them in a corner here. Don't overspend in the trade market, overspend in the free agent market. Does that make sense? And then Myles Garrett, which I think is, I don't want to say a more pressing need for the Patriots, but because it's splitting hairs, but it probably is. If you want to build, you've got the quarterback that can cover up a lot of things. And, obviously not enough to make this team a winning team right now with the deficiencies you have at wide receiver, but it's already pretty clear that the Patriots are going to make a push in the free agent market for wide receivers, especially outside receivers, which they need a little bit more than the slot position because they have Pop Douglas, who should be breaking out and is, 7 years younger than Cooper Kupp. But in the pass rush, you're horrible. You were the bottom of the league in sacks. You couldn't generate anything. There were several games where you actually defended okay, but you just couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback. In fact, that Rams game was one of them. Speaking of Cooper Kupp, And so having Myles Garrett opposite a guy like Keion White, you're all of a sudden back in the picture, because the last couple of years you've been okay in the sack department when it was Judon on one side and, last year, 23, having Keion White on the other, or pass rush specialist Josh Uche rushing the other side. But with this year, when it was just Keion White, who I think is a good player, there's just too much attention to him. Myles Garrett, you've got, a rating defensive player of the year here. He's 29, which, no spring chicken, but we see with Von Miller and guys like that, like he's probably got some good years left. I mean, we're talking about a future Hall of Famer, I think. He's got a couple of good years left, and that's going to cost a little bit more. The rumors are probably, a second or third round pick this year, and then a first round pick in 26 or 27. This is where it becomes really tough, because in a vacuum, I'd say, sure, you know what? They're just draft picks. Go out and get this guy, future Hall of Famer. Still has a couple good years left in him. Could be an anchor on your defense. I mean, immediately steps in and is your best defensive player, right? Would do that with most teams in the league. But that 26 first rounder might still be a pretty good pick. And 27, you hope it's not a great pick. But you're also at that point in 27 near the end of Drake May's contract. So you're going to have to use a big cap hit on him, and you're going to look to build your team again a little bit more through the draft. So it's a tough one to go off of. But honestly, with the Patriots team that I've seen the last 2 seasons, and I look at Myles Garrett, a guy without a huge injury history, who is the best defensive player in football, and you tell me, hey, second round pick this year, first round pick next year, the year after, I'm going with it. Like he's just that good. He's just that disruptive. Like that is a guy you game plan around. Right? We talked about this with Tyreek Hill specifically on the offensive side, Cooper Kupp to a lesser extent. But like the Patriots don't have a guy outside a quarterback that you game plan around. Drake May, Christian Gonzalez. Okay, you just go to someone else that's not Christian Gonzalez. But like Myles Garrett out there, that changes your whole protection scheme potentially. That changes, your style. If you're a run first team, it changes your third down calls. It changes a ton of that. It changes how much a running back can actually be in the pass game versus, blocking a guy off the edge. Myles Garrett makes for a ton of headaches for an offensive coaching staff. And you just don't have a guy on your team, and you haven't had a guy in years that can really do that. So just at the bare bones of it, the Patriots need to get better. And if you're going to use your premium second round picks on Jalen Polk, then yeah, maybe I would just ship that away for Myles Garrett. If that's what you're going to do in your second round picks. Elliott Wolf. They got one impact guy in the draft last year. One. And it was the can't miss pick. It was Drake May. Once Jaden Daniels is off the board, there was no one else they were going to pick except Drake May. That's the only one they hit on last year. So yeah, I'm okay parting with that with Myles Garrett. I get why you wouldn't be. Like I understand that fundamentally why you're still in that rebuild phase, but you just had a defense that couldn't get after the passer at all and couldn't stop the run. Myles Garrett helps you out in both of those, not just a pass rush specialist, man. He can help you out in both those areas tremendously. And every team in the league is calling Cleveland. Every team in the league is kicking the tires on this right now. I know here's the big issue. Obviously, Myles Garrett's trying to go somewhere to win. The Patriots are not going to win in the next 2 years. And there are some good teams that will be after him. Buffalo is going to need to replace Von Miller here. Pittsburgh might be losing TJ Watt. Not that they're a Super Bowl contender, but a good team, a playoff team. There's going to be some very good teams that are going in for Myles Garrett. And of course, I think Garrett, this isn't the NBA, but he'll have some say in what team he wants to go to here. I just doubt that the Patriots would be one of them. But maybe he loves the Drake May thing too. And Cooper Kupp, on the flip side, is it a place where you're going to win the Super Bowl in the next 2 years? No. But shoot, man, if all goes right, maybe you can be in that contention in the next 3 or 4 years. and you've got the quarterback there for Cooper Kupp. You're like, hey, maybe I can unlock something in this offense. And they really want me. I could be a missing piece kind of thing here. I really like what Mike Vrabel's doing. I love watching this kid, Drake May. I saw him up close and personal last year. The kid can really play. And I'm picking a quarterback to go to, more so even than a team to go to. Maybe that's an attractive option for him in the trade market, or if he gets cut, then in the free agent market. But you do have to wonder about the attractiveness of this team and this organization, both in the trade market and in free agency. Drake May is their saving grace right now. He's probably the reason the coach wanted to be here so bad. He's the reason why the offensive coaches were saying yes. And he will probably be the reason why any kind of offensive free agent says yes, because of the skill that Drake May's got and the potential that he's got. And maybe it starts with Cooper Kupp. Would be a hell of an addition to this team. They would certainly need it. And now there's talks of trading Joe Milton. That makes too much sense almost. Like, of course they're going to. Like, he's not going to factor into this thing. They'll get some other veteran to be a backup. And he showed something on tape that last week of the season, unfortunately. And someone's going to want him. Maybe Cleveland wants him. As a backup to whomever they're going to draft in the top 3. Or maybe they don't draft someone in the top 3 and they go with a veteran quarterback, a wily veteran. Maybe it's Sam Darnold. And then you need a backup to him. There's Joe Milton for you. How about we throw him into a Myles Garrett trade? Or maybe Sean McVay loves him and you throw him into a Cooper Kupp trade. But most likely you're going to throw him out there for a 3rd round pick. If you get a 3rd round pick for Joe Milton, the guy you drafted in the 5th or 6th round, right? Like that's a win. That's a big time win. To get 2 3rd-round picks out of Matthew Judon and Joe Milton in consecutive years, like that's a big win. And hey, if you can do that, maybe that is a little bit easier to part with something like a 2nd-round pick or a 1st-round pick down the line. Maybe it is. The NFL, unlike the NBA or NHL, you can still find impact year 1 players in year 3. Round 3. You've got to have the right coaching staff and the right scheme for it, but it happens all the time. But it is sad to think that the two impactful players they drafted this year were Drake May in the 1st round and Joe Milton in the 6th round, because he had a nice game in week 18 in a game that you were supposed to lose. But Myles Garrett, Cooper Kupp, these rumors are going to keep coming. Everyone who gets on the trading block and anyone obviously that's going to market that doesn't get franchise tagged will have the Patriots buzz around them. I think it's probably more likely they go and get T. Higgins than Cooper Kupp. Now, someone, I think it was Breer actually, asked, why would T. Higgins want to come to New England? It's like, I don't know. You saw the commitment they gave to Brandon Ayuk? Money, probably. Yeah, that's probably it. They're going to throw the absolute bag at him. That's why. And he's got a good quarterback. Not Joe Burrow, but he's got a good quarterback. And he's going to be the number 1 guy. He's going to make a ton of money. Maybe that's why. I get it's not an attractive place right now, but they do have a lot of money that they're willing to throw out. So I don't know. Start the rumors right now. T. Higgins, Cooper Kupp, Myles Garrett, all Patriots in 2025. But if I had to pick any of those 3, I'm still picking Myles Garrett, man. I just think he's that good. But you do need help at wide receiver. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on YouTube. Find us wherever you find your podcasts. Live at high noon Eastern time every weekday here on YouTube. Rolling on next with the Cam Show, we're talking about the best player in the NHL this year, 2025, and how he might just carry the Bruins into the playoffs. That's next on the Cam Show.
Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I need to get real excited.
Sure.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Sheridan Vasquez, and this is Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions. And I will be interviewing some of your favorite musicians and maybe some you've never heard before. Join me on Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions for something new every time. You can find Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemediamusic.com. Yeehaw. And keep the music playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, Blogify.ai today. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
EasySun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with EasySun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com.
It is the Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. Cam Stewart, Zach Burke. Zach, by the way, the jersey's coming in tomorrow. And I'm not going to lie to you. Let me be fully honest with you. I know most of you watching on Monday will remember this. I'm a little bit regretful not getting the Ico one. Just a little bit. Because I have no patience. Because I have no goddamn patience.
Okay.
Because I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, you're going to get it next year.
Yeah,
and
that is.
And honestly, it's probably going to be like 8 or 9 months from now. I'll bet they'll release the Olympic jerseys in like November. They'll get it.
And who's to say that they might not be better? What if the Olympic jerseys are more like the junior jerseys you talked about yesterday?
They might be, dude. They might be. I don't know, man. I'm regretting it. I mean, I'll be fine. There's also no Rock'em Sock'em guy on this team other than Kachuk, which I can't get. So, either way, you're going finesse. I don't know. I just, you know me. I was ready to flip a coin the other day, and my girlfriend is very much one of those people that's like, flip a coin, and if you're bummed at which side comes up, that means you really wanted the other one instead. But I was like totally like 50-50, best out of 5. Like, let's just do it. So. I let Zach talk me into the Austin Matthews one, which no one has ever complained about getting an Austin Matthews jersey unless they're a Habs or a Bruins fan. But like tomorrow it's coming in.
See, that'll be cool. Are you going to wear it for? Well, I guess
I don't think it'll be in here in time
Friday
for the. Yeah, I don't think it'll be in time for the show. Friday though, it should be.
you're going to show
I
it
mean,
off on
fucking
Friday.
better be. Yeah, why not, man? USA Friday, sure.
There you go. Or and then you'll wear it. I guess next week. What was it? Was it Thursday and Saturday?
Yeah, I think Thursday and Saturday we got. And I'm thinking about next Friday just being a complete fuck Canada special. Okay, I'm into that. All right, because now they're booing our national anthem, which is just right in time for this. I cannot wait.
Does it
Canada
not
in Montreal?
Like I know obviously it's, some of this is related to things going on that aren't sports related, but doesn't it feel like it is feeding very well the Flames for this matchup?
Dude, Donald Trump becoming the president of the U.S. will probably be the best thing that happens to the four
for
nations.
U.S. Canada hockey.
Like genuinely, because real hockey fans are like, what is the point of this? This is stupid. They're not competing for anything. It's only 4 teams. They don't have the Russians. They don't have the Czechs. This is absolutely going to amp it up because you're going to have a full tilt atmosphere next Saturday. That preliminary game between those two. And then because this is how this thing works, they're going to meet in the final. They are going to meet in the final. And I don't know if it's a series like they used to do with the World Cup of Hockey, or if I think it's probably just one game. But it's going to be US Canada. It has to be. And that's going to be, because they're going to boo the anthem in Montreal in that first game. Yeah. They're going to keep doing it. So that is going to fire the fuck up out of these US players. It's going to fire them the fuck up, because here, and by the way, this is not a knock. I don't care, but a lot of these US players are also Trump people. Like, that's just how hockey is. It's a rich sport. Like, I'm sure a lot of the Canadian hockey players too. So they're gonna hear this booing, and they're gonna, like, this is actually gonna fire them up even in the year 2025. I can't wait for this, man. It's gonna be freaking awesome, dude.
I'm gonna end up watching hockey next weekend. I think that I might have to. At least I have to watch USA versus Canada.
It's the 15th, by the way, so not this weekend.
Saturday, right? It's the Saturday night.
Yes, but not this Saturday. It's the next one.
Next Saturday, yeah. Well, yeah, no, I'm going to be out of town this weekend, so that's fun.
Dude, this brings me right back, dude. 2010 gold medal game, 2014 semis. Like, I'm in. I'm so in on this shit.
No, you've talked me into it. Like
it's all like coming to get like the Finns. Miro Heiskanen gets a rather unfortunate injury, like tough injury for the Stars. He's not playing. For Canada, for Sweden, Pettersson's not having a good season. Like, it is kind of playing into the hands of US versus Canada. And I don't know if you saw this, but apparently the Tkachuk brothers have said they are going to make life hell for Brad Marchand for Team Canada. To which I say, look, Brad's my guy. He's my captain, my Hall of Famer. Okay, one of my favorite Bruins of all time. But, like, as long as you're within the rules, who cares? Go and do it. But I would also say, love you, Brad, but probably not the guy who should be honing in all your focus on for Canada. They got this Connor McDavid kid rising up in the ranks, pretty good player. They've got
David?
Nathan McKinnon, like, if you can catch up to him, maybe try to hit him. Like, I don't know if, like, Marchand's not the guy that's really being goaded into penalties anymore, baited into penalties. So I would really piss off one of their really good players. McKinnon, McDavid, Makar, pretty decent players. But I'm in, dude. If you can't tell, I am way the fuck in.
No, I can tell, and I'm here for it. I like it.
And it's really a dress rehearsal for next year, because that's like I'm so thankful we have stopped with the bullshit of not having the NHL players in the Olympics. Like, that's, I get the whole amateurism thing, and I respect it. And that it's weird that there are some sports that have professionals and some that don't, but give us what we want, man. Mm-hmm. If you want to make the gymnastics people professionals, I don't give a shit. I could not give less of a shit. If
they're adding baseball, right?
I think they are bringing that back. They had it in Paris.
Yeah, but like
not Paris.
The one before
yeah. Beijing.
Yeah, but like, I mean, no matter the sport, or I think they talked about flag football. Like, I want to see the actual NFL player. I no disrespect to flag football players across the country, but like, I want to see the professionals in there. Like, I want to see
that guy. Who's that guy that was like
the quarterback?
Yeah, he's pretty good at regular football, but I think I'm better than Patrick Mahomes at flag football. I'm like, I can say with some certainty that you're not.
That's fine. But at the same time, that's kind of like saying, I know Patrick Mahomes is a grade A quarterback, but I don't think there's anybody better at playing pogs than me against him, and I'm a better pog player than Patrick.
It would be like saying, like, LeBron's pretty good at basketball, but if we do 3-on-3 basketball, I'm better.
That is more like that.
No, you're not. I promise you, not.
Play horse, I would shoot him out of the gym.
Like, I guarantee, like, the dude perfect guys, maybe. But also, I want, while you're on the screen here, Zach, before I get into Pastrnak, Elvis Andrus.
I have a question for you, but I'll save it for off the air. It's a Celtics question.
I'm going to talk Celtics next segment. Let's do it then.
Okay, well, it's very small, and it's about a very tiny guy who's no longer on the team, but we'll save it.
Fuck if I care. I know where you're going with this.
Right.
That's news today. So, yeah, we'll talk about that next segment.
Okay.
Elvis Andrus, Texas Rangers Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Thumbs up from Zach.
Yeah, no, that's a thumbs up. I'll tell a quick Elvis story. So, working at the radio station.
Is Elvis still alive?
This Elvis is still alive.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He has not left the building. He's still there. Actually, I saw that he's going to be one of the pregame show hosts or like in studio hosts for the Rangers TV network. So, or Victory or whatever they call it. But so, working at the radio station, we're an affiliate for them, and we get to go to like media day. They have once a year where you get to go and like take BP on the field, like throw out in the bullpen, like go to a game, see all that. And we got to attend batting practice. And usually it's just kind of like just frowned upon in that in general, of where it's like you have this chance in media of like meeting these guys. So you're supposed to act like, you know, how it is. Well, I wasn't even thinking about it while I was there. And he was walking around with a marker and he like came to me and he just like shrugged. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so I just handed him my hat, and Elvis signed my hat and gave it back to me. And so I have an Elvis Andrus signed hat from forever ago when I watched him take BP, and super cool dude. Like, I always liked him. He had, you know, he had his problems of not being, I say problems like that. He wasn't a problem at all. Just in his game, sometimes, you know, defensively, or he would have struggles at the plate, but he was always solid. And he was always one of those, I know, you know, as a Red Sox guy, like a team, like he was a guy that you loved. Like, everybody else might not be able to appreciate him for what he was, but like he was like a spark plug on that team there. Like, the team always stayed light and fun because of like him there. Like, the relationship he had with Adrian Beltre was always fun to watch. And it just kind of, he was a good locker room guy, if that makes sense.
Guy.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. And
Good
that's what I
Elvis.
think of Elvis Andrus.
Good for Elvis Andrus, Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. Good for him. Bruins scored a pretty big win last night against Minnesota. And it's to the point now where the Boston Bruins have the best player in the NHL in 2025. Like, from the beginning of this year to now, no one has been better than David Pastrnak. And he won't win this, but he should absolutely get MVP consideration if the Bruins make the playoffs, because he is by far the most skilled guy on that team, and he is carrying them, absolutely backpacking them. And I still think that's, you know, definitely not a given that they're going to make the playoffs. But if they do, if they make the postseason, and especially if they have room to spare to make the postseason, Pastrnak has got to be in the MVP consideration, if not the MVP. He's been fantastic since the turn of the year. And right now, he gets another assist last night, which looked like it was Pasternak's goal at first, but it was an assist in a 3-0 victory over Minnesota, a team that's better than them, and was the best road team in the NHL going into that game. And the Bruins shut them out 3-0. And it wasn't like a fluky one, if there is such a thing as a fluky shutout. Like, they took it to the Wild for most of that game. Jeremy Swayman was great, but the Bruins carried the play. And now it's an 11-game point streak for Pastrnak. 24 points in his last 11 games. He was one of the 3 stars for January, and for good reason. I mean, his January was nuts. What did he have? 24 points in 14 games in January. And, of course, 24 in his last 11, which overlaps through both months. And then you think it's going to, like, take a tailspin after January. Oh, that was his one good month. How about February 1st gets 4 points with a hat trick? A hat trick, 3 goals and an assist against New York, who they play again tonight. He's just been on fire. And it does beg the question, like, he does play better with Pavel Zacha, who's not a true center. But it begs the question, what would Pastrnak be doing with a real number 1 center? Like a real playmaking top-end center. I'm not even talking like a top 5 center in the league, but a top 25 or 30. he might win the MVP. You know, he might score 120 points. Like, he's that good. And he's playing on a line. Like, this is where you should take into consideration for the MVP. Like, he's going to be one of the top, whatever. I think he could still get to 100 points. He's on pace for about 90. I think he's going to get to 100 points here. He's playing on a line with Pavel Zacha and Morgan Geekie. So if he eclipses a 100-point plateau and the Bruins are in the playoffs, like, I don't know who else you pick. Again, like, value here. Hart Trophy for the most valuable player. At times, he's the only player they've got. He's the only forward they've got, man. First star in the month of January, and he deserved every bit of it. He's had some tough times this year. He's had some turnover problems at the beginning of the year. He just wasn't making much of an impact. Teams were really keying in on him. Obviously, there was that report from Rich Keefe about him and Marchand not being friends and not wanting to play on a line together. That's probably BS. But Pastrnak is carrying them right now. Like, this is a player that's in his prime, and it's really too bad that he doesn't have a playmaking center for him, like when he had Bergeron or Krejci, because you went out and you spent for one. You spent a good amount of money on what you thought was one, but come on, dude. Elias Lindholm, not even close to what this team needs. And so you look at all of this up and down the lineup. You know, Coyle is playing on a right wing because Lindholm can't be a top 2 center. Zacha now playing center when he's really a winger. Morgan Geekie playing on the first line. The mismatch and the lack of talent here. And they're still, like, right there for a playoff spot because of David friggin' Pastrnak. And I don't want to say, like, he's been super, like, chastised in this town or anything, because I think a lot of the Bruins fans realize that Pastrnak is a great player and love him as a player. But he does get some grief sometimes from the media, and this should be burying that. Like, this, I'm sorry. Like, he is the only player they've really got of any kind of real quality. The Bruins are on the outside looking in right now. They are even on points with Tampa, but obviously for that second wild card, they're way below in goal difference, which is incredible. They are, let's see, 58 goals behind Tampa, even on points, but Tampa has 3 games in hand. And that first wild card's now Detroit, by the way. You talk about a story here. Detroit has been on fire. They've won 7 in a row. They've 7-2-1 in their last 10, so 7 in a row after that. They're 3-0 in shootouts this year. How about that? And they also have a game in hand of the Bruins and have an extra point. Pastrnak is going to be the only reason they get in there if they get in there. But it's time to start putting some respect on David Pasternak's name if you're not already. And I know it's not the name recognition nor playing for a contender the way, you know, McDavid and McKinnon would probably win it again. Or you know, Kirill Kaprizov before he got hurt. He was having a great year for Minnesota. I know he's not that. And what might work against him is the fact that the Blue Jackets might make the playoffs. And Zach Werenski will get some Hart Trophy buzz. He won't win it because he's a defenseman, and defensemen can't win it if you're not named Bobby Orr or Chris Pronger. But David Pastrnak is, like, we owe him a huge debt of gratitude as Bruins fans. He's incredible. By the way, he tied Wayne Cashman for 8th all-time in Bruins points yesterday. So he's going to be obviously one of the great scorers they've ever had, one of the great point totalers. That's the other thing too, is he's obviously a big-time goal guy. And I've said in the past, I'm like, Pasternak's kind of an underrated playmaker. And the beginning of this year and last year, to be fair, we didn't see a lot of it. Like, you're seeing it now. 27 goals, 39 assists, still a -1, but 66 points through 55 games. He's an absolute playmaker, and that was point number 793 and a +140 for his career with the Bruins through what's that now, 10 seasons? I guess this is 11th season at age 28. Golly, man. Won't turn 29 until May. What a special player we've got. 88's going to be in the rafters someday, but really, really appreciate what he's given to him this year, because this is nearly MVP kind of stuff right now for a team that stinks. For all intents and purposes, a team with that kind of record having an MVP would be ridiculous. But David Pastrnak is absolutely proving the value right now. And by the way, before I close this out, I got to give some credit, man. I bashed him a lot. Was that last week before last, I guess, because I want him to be good and he's not. Nikita Zadorov was awesome last night. He took his customary penalty in the third period, but he was terrific. He was everywhere last night, and he had a pretty good game against the Rangers too. So maybe, just maybe, Zadorov has turned some sort of a corner here. He realizes that it's pretty much playoff time from here on out for the Bruins here in the first week of February. We'll see tonight, second game of a back-to-back. Rangers still playing good hockey. I mean, they beat Vegas on a back-to-back after they lost to the Bruins on Saturday. It's on the road, barely a road trip, but that's going to be a nationally televised game. They will have the early game on ESPN or TNT, whichever one it is tonight. And then I will be at the late game, Blackhawks and Oilers in Chicago. This is the one downside of the Central Time Zone. Central Time Zone's great, but they think they could just stick games at 8:30 on a weeknight because it's 9:30 on the East Coast. And we're not going to put an LA team in there. Here's how we're going to sneak one past you. That sucks. But David Pastrnak for Hart, MVP, I'm in. Celtics, they have a guy who could win the MVP on their roster right now. They might be back. They've also made a trade today. Let's me and Zach Berg talk about that next on The Cam Show.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internix.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Elevate your experience with Grenco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grenco Science. Take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at GrencoScience.com. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Do you ever have a story that you just can't get out of your head?
One that you play the details of over and over with your friends?
Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Claire.
And I'm Susan.
And this is Justice Pending,
a weekly true crime podcast where we discuss tantalizing crimes with more questions than answers.
Thanks for joining us.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Engels 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
Scam Show, Rogue Media Sports Network, talking Celtics. Kev Stewart, Zach Burke. Zach, you have a question.
I do have a question. I have an idea myself, but I wanted to hear from, an actual Celtics fan, somebody who's watched the team. There was a move made today by my NBA team that I'm a fan of, the Houston Rockets, with the Boston Celtics, and it sends Jaden Springer to the Rockets, and it looks like it's just a moving of trade picks along with that then too. I think 2030 draft picks along with it. But looking at Jaden Springer, just stats wise, I know he was a 2021 draft pick, but I know that not necessarily you look at the stat sheet, nothing jumps off at you or I think 1.9 points per game and stuff. And he's going to be a bench guy. I get that. But from what I can tell is he's a pretty good perimeter defender. And I think that is the reason more than anything that the team might have gone and grabbed him. That, or maybe they're setting up to move some other bench pieces and they want some insurance at the end of the bench there too. But as somebody who's watched him, is this a move that's mainly defense?
Oh, yeah. 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 He's a bounce guy. He can hit the occasional three. He is a 3-and-D guy. He doesn't get that kind of time with the Celtics because the Celtics are really good. But so are the Rockets, by the way. But there will be more opportunity for him. But yeah, he's not going to be, 20, 25 minutes a game kind of guy.
I got you.
But yes, that's what he brings you. He had one real good game. If you look at the game log against the Clippers, where I say real good game. He had like 5 points, but he played 20 minutes. He had, or 15 minutes. He had 4 steals. Like, that's what he brings you defensively. And I do want to, if this is going to help you, I got 2 Bill Simmons tweets for you.
Okay.
This one's from last night. This is before the trade.
Okay.
He says, a stealth Celts tweet. Joe Maz's refusal to play Springer this year is becoming a problem. They need his defense against certain guys, and Mitchell is one of them. They played Cleveland last night. Springer can't shoot, but he's a beast. I don't get it. And then this morning, after just an hour ago, after the trade, he goes, I like Springer. Damn. Luxury tax apron. I get it. Even 3 minutes of Eason, Amen, Springer, and Brooks at the same time would be complete defensive chaos.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
For the Celtics, it's a cost-cutting measure. Yep. It gives them some more flexibility here this year at the deadline. And plus, second apron coming up. One of those that I don't think they're crushed to see go, but certainly a guy who can play a role. I'll say that. Certainly a guy who can play a role.
That makes sense. I thought obviously if anybody could tell me about him, it would be you. I also had, before I'll let you get into I'll just add this quick thing. I had to ask Scotty this morning where he thinks I could pick up a copy of Slam magazine because I don't know anywhere that sells magazines anymore. But the current cover that came out today with the young Houston core on it looks so nice, and I'm gonna have to hunt it down so I can hang it up back here. But it's got Alperi and Jalen, and I think it's Brooks and Fred VanVleet on the side, but Amen Thompson's coming into his own team. It's such a fun team. But so yeah, I had to figure out where in the world I could find a Slam magazine today.
Could you go to Barnes and Noble?
That's where I'm gonna go this afternoon to see if I can pick it up.
All those magazine racks, they must still have Slam.
I would think so, but that's got to be, I would think, the only place I could grab it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if not, it might be one of those cases where they don't do a ton of print editions anymore, and you might be able to order one from them. I do that with Sports Illustrated once because they don't do print editions anymore.
Like at all?
Well, yeah, like there was no Celtics commemorative edition. There's a digital edition that I could buy, but I was like, literally, why the fuck would I want that?
Do you remember? I know that there's a little bit of an age gap for us, or in between us, but do you remember after all like the Super Bowls and stuff, the commercials that would air where it'd be like, get your subscription now to get like a football
hardcover book, and yes, dude. And so this is funny. I'll keep going with this because this is funny. I used to love that shit, right? Like as a kid, I would want it so bad. The Red Sox just won the World Series. Get your thing, and I would like ask my parents all the time, like, please, please, please. And they're like, no, we're not spending money on that. We'll get you something good, like whatever. We'll get you the t-shirt. And I'd be like so pissed. I wanted like the hardcover book and the little knickknack they had with it. And I started to see these pop up on eBay, like when I would start to get like old newspaper stuff. And like the 04 Red Sox hardcover commemorative issue is selling for like $12 on eBay. I'm like, what the hell would this have cost 20 years ago? Because there's no way it was like $50, right? Like that's something that my dad would be like, no, I'm not spending $50 on a book. You know what I mean? But like, there's no way, man. So I don't know how much that cost back then, but like, I'm pissed now. And I am such a sucker for just the regular Sports Illustrated commemorative edition that they do after a championship. The Celtics one has to be the first one I don't have, because I think they were still doing it even for that last Patriots Super Bowl. I have them somewhere in a box.
Yeah. Dude, that's kind of sad though, because that was always the thing.
Dude, it sucks. Like that 04 Red Sox commemorative Sports Illustrated is one of my favorite things ever.
I didn't even think to look. I bet you there's probably not one for the Rangers then.
Might not be, dude. There's going to be some like knockoff book that you can get. Like that's probably still.
Oh yeah, no, I saw.
But
I saw one of those somewhere.
This would have, as you know, like the collection of what SI wrote about that team all year long, and it was so like I used to read them. It was so good. Yeah, I don't think they've had one the last like 2 or 3 years.
That's sad. I don't like that, man.
That
like there's
sucks,
something about it. Does. There's just something about it that I was pulling up the Slam magazine cover because I just want to. It'll probably just pop up between us, but
nice.
See, I like that.
That's cool.
It just looks nice. Although, I mean, Fred VanVleet looks less menacing out of everybody there, but still.
Yeah,
I don't know. Alpi looks a little. But yeah, no. Anyway, I've derailed your Celtics talk. You got a little bit of time to get.
I mean, we kind of talk Celtics in there. It's just that, and you can comment on this if you'd like. Do you remember those memes early in their careers? Because Kyle Kuzma was taken in the first round the same year that Tatum was. He was picked 27th. And these Lakers fans would do like comparisons, and they would just find ways for Kyle Kuzma to be better than Jason Tatum. And the Bucks just pulled off that deal last night, sending Chris Middleton to Washington for Kyle Kuzma. Golly, I know Milwaukee's not a championship contender anymore, but that would suck going to the Wizards, man.
I didn't get that. Oh, dude. Well, the thing was they couldn't trade any of their. I heard they weren't going to be able to move Brogdon, like all these big contracts they signed, and they regret it for only having 6. I don't know how many wins they have. It's not a lot, but
yeah, they're gonna tank the best, but. Like that just, I thought the same thing about Grant Williams last year. He goes from the Celtics in 23 to a big money deal with Dallas. And then he's traded midseason to the Hornets, like one of the worst franchises in sports. And he sees the last 2 teams he played for playing in the NBA finals.
That's dude, that has to sting when you're right there for the past 2 seasons. And
dude.
Now
That's so good, man.
Like, that's the thing. I read all these, like, Jeff Pearlman books or all that, and you hear the stories of, like, you have to think the guys that were, like the right on the cusp of those teams before they like took off. Like if you're an Eddie Jones or something like that, like obviously the move had to be made for the Lakers to be the team that they had, but knowing that you have to sit there and watch then from another team of like, oh, I was there just, like for seasons and seasons with those guys. Mm-hmm. And now's the time that they decide to have a dynasty, and I'm here in Miami or Charlotte.
Dude, you know what? That inspires me. Tomorrow, I'm going to let's do the top. I'll do the top 5 of those for Boston sports in my lifetime. Like the guys who left that year or the year before that were impact players. This guy wasn't enough of an impact player to make the list, but like Grant Williams, the year before the Celtics.
Okay, I like this.
Because I don't want to give any away, but there's some big names on there. There's some big names on there. Yes, I want to do that.
I want
to do that.
I'm looking forward to it. All right.
Yeah, Cedric Maxwell, he won't make it because it was 2000s. He went to the Clippers the year before, the 86 Celtics, which is probably the best NBA team ever.
Yeah.
He had won 2 titles. He had won the finals MVP, but he got traded for Bill Walton. So he was wasting away with the Clippers as the Celtics have like the best team ever the next year. So
that's funny.
He would have made the list if it was the 2000s.
Yeah. Or what if you were a guy like, I'm trying to think of how it would relate to like my teams. I guess maybe somebody like Otis Thorpe, like when you got traded for Drexler, I guess I'm trying to think of, but
sure.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. The thing that's sad about my teams that you don't have to worry about as a Boston sports fan is that you have a lot of championship teams to pick from.
Yeah.
Whereas my fandoms, it is very limited. I think I have, one baseball one now, which is, 2 seasons ago, 2 from the basketball team, 0 from the football team, and 2 from the college basketball team I root for more often than not. That's about all I got. 2? Yeah. Mateen Cleaves getaway driver, 2000. Yeah, 2. 2001. 2000. Okay. Mateen Cleaves, Maurice Hager. No, Maurice Hager was later. Who else was on? It's Mo Pete. Mo Pete was on that team.
College one would be an interesting one to do. Of like the guys who literally I know traded is through no fault of their own, but graduated
right before yeah.
You know who the all-time one of that would be for it's actually college football. You know who would be the all-time pick for that?
Who's up?
98 Tennessee wins the national championship with T. Martin at quarterback
Instead
the year after Peyton Manning graduates. That has to be number one. That has to be.
No, you're right. That is
literally probably the second greatest quarterback ever to play the sport. And he graduates the year before, and you win it with some bust who doesn't do anything in his NFL career. Like that has to be number one. Man, that's tougher to figure out, but I think you get cool stories.
For sure. That's great. Just to be like, oh, they were always there. Because there are teams that are like that for some reason it's the competition they face. It's the way things shake up that a worse team or, a team with worse players at certain positions can make it to a national championship team. So I think college would be fun to do because it would happen a lot more.
Years before. Yeah, I was trying to think of a great Duke one, but
I'm sure there has to be.
They have a couple of 2 years before, like Danny Ferry left 2 years before they won the national championship. Elton Brand left 2 years before they won it in 01. But that just missed it by a year. That'd be interesting.
Can you also have it though? And
I'll give you one old school one. I think it was 1 year.
Okay.
Nolan Richardson, who became a national championship coach at Arkansas, left. He graduated from Texas Western the year before they won it all. I think that's right. I think he graduated in 65 and they won it all in 66.
Okay. Can you? That is a good one. I also have to ask, can you have it to where your team never won it, but you still you were close enough to how does somebody like Gordon Hayward fit into that? Because Butler obviously never went back, but
well, they did go back the next year without him.
Without him,
yeah, they didn't win.
They didn't win then, though. But it's still Butler hasn't been to that level since, though. It's one of those of where I don't know.
I think Ray Allen left in '96, and UConn didn't win until '99. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for that. I think that's more impressive on Butler's part that they made it again without him. That's pretty incredible. They had a good coach. Yeah, that's interesting.
Wait, he wasn't there in the next year? I thought he was there for both. No, you're right.
No, yeah, he was the only one who left after the first year. Howard and Shelvin Mack. Well, I shouldn't say
Shelvin Mack was still there.
The other point guard, the other guard was gone.
Hold on, I just had that pulled up. This is great. Let's see.
Shelton Van Zandt.
They did have Shelvin Mack, Ronald Norrid, Andrew Smith, Sean Van Zandt.
Yeah. I think he was not there, and maybe one of either him or Norred. One was there in 2010 and not in 2011, and then Hayward was the other.
It was Van Zandt and Hayward.
Funny enough, Hayward did not win the Horizon League Player of the Year in 2010. That was Matt Howard. So there you go. Who was battling concussion-like symptoms in the national championship game. Skeevy Duke, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another great one of those before we get out of here, but I don't think
they're for sure. Like Duke seems to be the one. Like it has to be a team that you would think would go like a lot. Or like, what if you're, I don't know, like Indiana never had. That's the thing. It's tough. What if you're one of those? What if you're one of those like UCLA teams that didn't win?
Yeah.
Like everybody else. I mean, it's hard to be there, but what if you come the year after and you're just like, oh wait, what happened to all these titles?
Oh man. You know who I think would be not like an all-time great player, but a guy that these fans certainly love? I don't think Marcus Page played on the 17 Carolina championship team. And he had that crazy, incredible shot to tie the game against Villanova the year before, the greatest shot that no one will remember. I think he was gone.
The 16-17 team?
Yeah. I could be wrong on that.
Wait, who? I'm sorry. Who'd you say again?
Marcus Page.
Marcus Page was not on that team.
Yeah. That sucks. That really sucks. 4-year guy, like totally beloved, like pretty damn good player, but not like, it's not like you're replacing Michael Jordan or anything.
I'm going to pull a Pete real quick and just say like, one more quick thing. But just looking at this roster, it's something that always fascinates me about college basketball in a way. Looking at the national championship team there for North Carolina, I don't know if there's a single one of them in the league now still, which is just kind of.
Yeah, it's like Bryce Johnson, Justin Jackson.
Kennedy Meeks was on that team. Nate Britt.
At Kennedy Meeks.
Yeah, like Justin Jackson. Is he still? I think I
don't know, man. I mean, he might be.
I saw, but like
he might be hanging around somewhere. He was on the Celtics 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that's
just wearing a warm up.
Well,
taking layups with the Celtics. I mean, hey.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I will have a definitive top 5 Boston ones of the 21st century tomorrow. I can't wait. I cannot wait for it.
I'm excited to see what it is.
Oh, I hope you join us then. It's high noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcast. Thank you to Zach Burke. Thank you to Pete Souza for having me on his show in the lead in. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow on The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.